I am out and about with the cast of Hair here at Firehouse Theater. Can I tell you just how much fun I had and how much I wanted to sit and dance in my seat? I was the next year like, is the boy having a seizure? Because I love it. But I want you to tell who you are, who you play in the show, and what's your sign. I'm going to start right here, work your way across, up, and finish up here.
I'm Greg Garrett. I play Sheila, and I am the perfect cusp of Libra and Virgo. Wow.
It's perfect.
All that.
I'm Star Foster, and I am a Virgo. Oh, and I'm the court operator.
My name's Ian Page. I play Wolf, and I am a Gemini.
Ooh.
Wow. Shade. I'm Alani Giles. I was the music director for this, and I am a Libra.
I'm Carolyn Mead. I play Dion, and I'm an Aries.
Starlet Knight, I'm the mom, and Hubert, Capricorn.
I'm Chloe Williams, I play Ronnie, and I'm also a Capricorn.
I'm Rashad Horton, I play Paul, and I am an Aries.
I'm Maura Burrows, I play Jeannie, and I am a Capricorn.
I'm Morgan Meadows, I play Chrissy, and I'm an Aries.
I am Matt Polson, I play Claude, and I am a Scorpio.
I'm Austin, I play Steve, and I'm an Aquarius.
And have one. There we go.
My name is Paul Major, I play Dad, I play the Principal, I also play Margaret Mead and Meatball in the Tribe. And I am an Aries Taurus cusp. Yes.
My name is Sasha Wakefield, and I play Susanna, and I'm a Pisces.
My name is Avia Fields. I play Amaretto. And I am an Aries.
My name is Nicholas Aliff. I play George Berger, and I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm Keedron Dunn. I play Hood, and I am on the cusp of Aquarius Pisces.
And I'm Eric Russell. I'm your host of the show. I'm a Leo. I know. So I want to start with a great quote I found about this show that's from 1969. And this was Harry Belafonte was introducing the original cast of Hair at the Tonys. So this year, 3 men from our planet will go to the moon. The rest of us are going to have to make it down here with each other. In this period of the world's history, polarization of background and attitude is making communication between people more than unusually difficult. The theater must take its responsibilities very seriously. Almost a last refuge of its committed self to be a center of hope, where we can see the truth, where we can see what man is, where we can see what the glory of man is, and what he aspires to be. Scientists deal in logic, and I have faith that they will get some of us to the moon. But there is more than logic in the theater. The theater deals with passion and emotion. We live in emotional times. Artists are emotional people. So listen to them, friends. In the young soldier plea in the revolutionary 1776, we turn now to America 200 years later. Michael Butler's equally revolutionary Hair, an impassioned plea for today's young people. And I'm thinking it is now 2014, nearly 400 years later, and I think this is still a very relevant show with a relevant message. I want your take on how this show today echoes that 1960s message that Kennedy said, new frontier. The 60s was about change and revolution. You know, I came in 1970, I was right there at the end, and you guys are the inheritors of that new frontier. As a cast, let's talk about the show and how it impacts us today. And when you opened the song with Aquarius, I just melted. That was powerful.
We do every night.
So let's talk about the show. What did you get out of it? What did you put into it? This is generations removed from you guys. This is the 60s.
Well, we had some really incredible veterans come in and talk to us during the process just to get some insight into what they experienced because they lived in this time. Because this isn't just, you know, a story set in '68. It is a period piece. Everything has to be authentically 1968. And they gave us some really incredible insight, and they asked us if we thought this show was for people their age or if it's for people our age. And the answer is, it's for everyone, but it's it's going to hit home with the people their age, the people that experience this era, but the themes are universal. So they will affect people my age, this cast's age, because the themes of sexual awakening and war versus peace and love, all of that is universal, and it's something that I think we're trying to put out there. It's something that should be heard by everyone.
I think everybody from the ages of pretty much 20 to 40 right now has suffered disenfranchisement since, I don't know, 2001 through the end of the last president's era. And we remember that. That's our generation, still very vivid in our minds. It's not to the massive scale it was then, but it's still just as infuriating.
You ask how, the change of the 60s is relevant to today, especially in the past, 6 to 8 years. There's been sweeping change. For example, we have a black president whose name is Barack Obama, which is incredible. Gay marriage is becoming a universality accepted issue. So in some ways,
we are currently on a new frontier. New frontier.
Because this show was groundbreaking. It was the first rock and roll. It was an integrated racial cast. It dealt with themes that had never been dealt with, and set a new standard for shows that came later, like Chorus Line and Jesus Christ Superstar.
It's the first contemporary. I mean, if you take a musical theater history class, which I'm sure we all have, they end Golden Age and start contemporary with Hair. Hair is the milestone. It's the new chapter. It's groundbreaking.
This show is about a tribe. How are you as a cast, a tribe, similar to the characters you portray? Because I loved it. From the moment you guys hit the stage, you have chemistry. You can see it. You're a group.
Oh, yeah. By far, it's like the most chemistry I've ever had with a dozen plus people in my entire life. It's so crazy. And sometimes we joke that it's like, oh, it's because we're touching one another all the time. But I don't think it is. I think it's just something magical about this show and what we're talking about and where we all are, and it's an incredible feeling. So the chemistry you see is not fabricated. It's real. We have our tribe name, we have our tribe chant. It's like summer camp but way cooler.
Right. And for all actors, I mean, everybody here can agree. When you're doing something right, the theater is a safe place.
Yeah.
It's a very safe place. It's one of the few safe places artists actually do get. It's our studio, our temple for a second, and everybody in it here wants to be here, and they all keep each other safe every night including pre-show and post-show 4+ hours.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those shows too where you're not putting on the mask and making the faces, you're really stripping it down and really being raw and being yourself and letting all of that shine through.
And this is a raw, naked show. I mean, you're out here. Literally. Spoilers! Spoilers, just in case. Spoilers.
Tell your friends.
And which will bring me to a quick pop quiz. Pop quiz 1960s. Hasbro released a toy prior to the Vietnam War. Later on, this toy had Kung Fu grip. What is it?
G.I. Joe.
And with spoilers, here's one coming. 2 science fiction shows launched in the 1960s. One just celebrated 50 years. One dealt with new frontiers.
Star Trek.
And what's the other one?
Yes!
Doctor Who!
Yeah! Alert!
So we had some fun stuff that came out of the 60s, but we also had some great other moments. We had the Civil Rights Movement. We had the Freedom Riders. We had the Black Panther movement started in '69. We had the Stonewall riots. We have a whole generation. And then, of course, in the show, we deal with burning of the draft card. So we've got this whole tribe, and they're showing their defiance because, one, they're growing out their hair. This is how you show yourself. But the burning of the draft card. And I want to talk to Bruce Claude. It's like, oh, this is a whole transformation. Where did he go? He's invisible, he's right here. I want you to talk about your character of Claude and how he's struggling with, do I burn this draft card? Do I go? Because I think that's such a pivotal moment, and a lot of people in the 60s, and even today, deal with service to their country. Do I go to fight this war? What's my role?
Sure. Yeah, and there's the scene with his parents where they're sort of pressuring him into making the right choice, and then you sort of have the contrast of that which is the tribe, who, you know, all of his friends are burning their draft cards. So he's definitely torn. And you know, we, like Morgan said, we talked with some vets, and we also talked with some conscientious objectors. And so you really, you know, it's tough because you see your closest friends are doing this thing, but you don't believe in it. And it's, you know, what do you do? What is the right answer? And that is just, it's not apparent, it's not clear.
This generation, the 60 generation, they came out of this whole Donna Reed inspired, fabricated, small garden, the whole thing, commercialism. They're moving into new technology. They put a man into space. They walked on the moon. Computers were coming about. That the first email was sent in '68 to Berkeley University. The very first email, not AOL. Paid attention in school. So you know, all these there's this new trend that you kind of see the hippies pushing back, that they want things to move forward in a positive way. You know, they weren't rebellious in a negative way. They were trying to do better for their country. They're going, you know, the commercialism, the whole thing. When your character gets right, because when your character gets that bright yellow shirt from Sears and Roebuck, he's completely like, why did you give me something that's so commercial, so synthetic? You know, it's the materialism.
It was a gift.
Given with love from Sears. So I asked you earlier about your sign, which brought us into part of this whole show was religion, spirituality, and you've got the great line, no more falsehoods or derisions, golden living dreams of visions, mystic crystal revelations, and the mind's true liberation, Aquarius. And I found that during the auditions, the companies actually had an astrologer, Maria Krumer, who would actually be consulted to find out who would play what would they the right part, and she picked the date the show would open.
Yeah.
She
I
did.
heard about that too.
She did. And I know I had something about it. Yes.
The Canadian flop, because they didn't open when they told her.
Yeah.
When
exactly.
She told them they were supposed to.
Yeah,
See,
she said, oh, don't open then, don't open then. And the
Who
show
played
went on.
Sheila again?
I did.
And you're rated. And the role of Sheila was usually played by a Libra or a Capricorn.
Oh, I'm the cusp of Libra Virgo.
There we go. And Berger was played typically by a Leo, and you were a
Sagittarius.
Ooh. Close.
Fire.
Fire. That's right.
Fire.
So, I mean, do you guys read your horoscopes daily?
No.
Anyone
No.
have?
Nah, it's kind of fun thing. It's kind of fun thing.
It's kind of like this is
Yeah, like every now and
meeting somebody. But I think that's part of the whole show. They were looking for new spirituality. You had all these conflicting new ideas. People had traveled from World War II. They came home. They found new religions, new ideas, the Krishnas and stuff. When you're performing the show, is there one particular moment that impacted you spiritually?
For sodomy, I'm just asking, why do these words have to have such heavy meaning? Why do we have to, with religion and everything, I can't. Sodomy is out of my reach, if you look at it in a religious aspect. And so it's just about questioning, well, wait a second, why is this act, first of all, why does it need a title? And second of all, why do we have to bring religion into what this is? There's no, it's my life, not yours.
Which always seems to be the big thing. We always hear about the religious right pushing back Christian values, family values, and the devaluation of other people's cultures, beliefs, and systems. You reference Native Americans throughout the show, the reference to Krishnas and Buddhism throughout the show, showing there are different viewpoints all pointing towards some great, bigger spiritual moment. How do you think an audience today reacts compared to maybe an audience in '69? Because when this was in '69, some audiences just sat there going, "Could we applaud? What could we do?" I'm not sure. We're supposed to like this.
Very similarly.
Yeah.
But I also think audiences today are not as easily shocked as this audience. Even for us as actors, the things that we saw in the script that would not have been shocking in the '60s were shocking to us today.
Such as? What was shocking?
Some things we cut, like Berger hits Sheila in the script.
The script hits her.
And it's
Because
not.
we face a different problem. It's not the shock value. It's the fact that people know that there are certain things that they may or may not see that they don't want to see.
Right, yeah.
And people will leave. like they have done. People decide that this is something that is too much for me, or it's too far away from whatever their belief set is, and they choose not to share that experience.
I mean,
it's not that they're shocked by it, it's just that they don't want it, and they don't allow themselves to participate.
and at the same time, I mean, today's, I mean, you have the cusps of, Wolf even says, he's like, I'm not, he even blatantly says in there, I'm not a homosexual. And actually, even we talked to the people that were in the movement, and even back then, gay rights was not even fathomable.
Yeah,
so even within a group this open-minded at that time, it was not even fathomable. So he couldn't even in this group probably just kind of keep that, like, it may be obvious, yes, but the polyamorous lifestyle, all of that would have been very shocking to people, and still for some people and for half the country it still is.
Because this was done between 65 and 68, and Stonewall didn't happen until 69. So the same year the Tonys premiered this show as a nominee, the Stonewall riots had just occurred.
Right.
Yeah. So we had the beginning of a new movement, which is going on today with everybody else's civil rights and their equality. Coming to songs, because the show is about amazing, amazing songs. Again, I loved Your Age of Aquarius. It opens the show and sets the show. I want y'all's reactions to that song. What is it about that song that opens it and makes it such a great anchor moment? It brings you into this whole story. What are you thinking when that song is going on? What are you as a performer with Age of Aquarius when you open?
That we are trying to get ready for a change, and it's time for a new age, an age of Aquarius, an age of peace and a different way of doing things, and we are the leaders, and we're leading this movement, and that's what I think about.
The lyrics of the song, the music itself, it's all about setting the tone, setting the mood for a journey that should open your mind, should you allow it to do so.
Anyone else?
As heavy-handed as this might sound, I'm not part of the tribe. I get to do other things. I'm backstage when she starts. It sounds for all the world to me like a call to prayer.
There we go.
Absolutely.
This is my church lesson. The closing number of the show, which of course was a top 10 hit. You've got Let the Sun Shine In, followed by Age of Aquarius, the whole reprise. You guys do it as a death ballad or a dirge.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many shows do it as we're up out of our seats, we're cheering, but it
And
really
we
isn't,
do
is it?
because people do expect that. Right. In the show, it's a plea, it's a cry for a resolution.
You're begging
Let
for
the
the
sun
sun to
shine in. Yeah, it is. It's a plea to whatever deity or being is up there. You're like, give us something.
Stop sending young people off to die for no reason.
Right.
They lost their friend.
When people hear this song, they expect, sunshine and butterflies.
Yeah.
It's not that in the slightest.
Yeah.
This is about someone's journey, trying to figure out who they are, if they should go and fight for their country, and they ultimately give their life for this kind of thing. And it's basically crying out that we need to try to see something in this, like something positive, anything to kind of ease that pain. And like we said, it's a universal thing. It's, it still happens today. So.
What is one thing you want the audience to take away from your production of Hair?
Love.
Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes of the show, Berger says. It's about love.
You guys had a magnificent show.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it really, I tweeted earlier going, Hair at Firehouse is a psychedelic history trip not to be missed. That makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
So, thank you. I'm trying to tweet one.
Wait a second, that wasn't during the show, was it?
It was in a tweet. All right. Follow me, popmyflash on Twitter. There you go. Hashtag. No. You guys are amazing. I just want to say, you can feel the love from this cast. You have embodied the spirit of that new frontier of the 60s in today's 21st century, tweeting, texting, Facebook, social media. You guys have a heart and a soul of a show that Richmond needs to see, and I've said it before, you don't have to go to New York to see a Broadway quality show. It's right here at Richmond, and it's right here at Firehouse Theater. So, for more information about this magnificent show, check out the firehousetheater.org website. I think it's .org. It is. There we go. I have a note, and I smudged it. For dates, times, this is a fantastic show. I want to say thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste. I'm Eric Russell. I've been out and about with the cast of Hair here at Firehouse Theater. You never know where I'll turn it next, so peace and love.
Peace and love.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.